this lordship of every house is very important, because this will act as a base and the friendly or that enmity behavior of the planets. Okay. So now we will be starting with the planets in all the houses. Simply planets, without any zodiac sign, without any other scenario, simply the planets. What the planets are doing if they are placed in all the houses. Let's start with Jupiter. We have thorough understanding about the planet Jupiter, and we have a thorough understanding about first house. Now we are joining these two energies, these two knowledge. Now we are going to club these two knowledge, the knowledge of first house and the knowledge of Jupiter. What Jupiter is going to do if it is placed in first house. Jupiter is a gurudom, is a teacher, right? Jupiter is an expansion. Okay. First of all, when Jupiter is a kind of a temple, right? Idealism. Anybody who has Jupiter in the first house, he will consider his body as a religious institute. Idealistic approach towards the body. He would try to make his body the perfect institute to resemble, to show off the idealism. They want to show that what is the perfect body should be like that. Because Jupiter is an idealism, perfectionism. So when Jupiter in first house, these people, they are very much concerned about their body, about positivity. They want to make their body positive. And as Jupiter is about knowledge, so these people, their personality is like gaining knowledge about body, sharing knowledge about body. I teach one student in Rishikesh, one friend of that student. She was quite familiar with me, and she has Jupiter in the first house. You know, she's always after lunch walk, dinner walk, and she used to criticize me. Don't do this. Just walk this way. This is the way you have to walk. You know, knowledge about body, sharing knowledge about body, sharing, giving gyan about body, preaching. They consider themselves as a preacher, as a teacher, as a supervisor. And these things are happening automatically. One thing more, Because of this leadership attitude, there is an ego. When you consider yourself a guru, obviously the ego will flourish. Ego will flourish, no? Because you are considering yourself a guru. These people, they have that kind of attitude. One more student of mine in Dharmkot, Dharmshala, he is into that gemstone business. So I've given him the 7 days course. The last day, I was not aware about the horoscope. I used to watch him, what he used to carry in his box, in his bag, what he used to do, all these things I used to watch. So after the completion of 7 days course, so the last day, 8th day, he asked me for the consultation. That I want detailed consultation. So I've given him consultation for 1 hour at least. Because the giving consultation a student, I'm putting all the 7 days knowledge in their horoscope, so that it would be easy for them. So it would be a revision for them. He has been carrying on daily basis in his bag fruits, all kinds of fruits, vegetables. That person was very conscious of his body. He was a yoga practitioner. He used to give yoga teaching, take yoga classes. Very particular about his body. Jupiter in first house. That fruits and vegetable he is consuming on the daily basis in breakfast. Nothing else. Fresh fruits and vegetables. So he's purifying his body because of Jupiter. Idealism, yoga, body, purifying the body. He's very particular about his body. Now, Jupiter is the expansion. I have explained that. What is Jupiter? Expand, because knowledge is going further. More. So body expand. So these people tend to become fatty quickly. They have to. I've told him, let's enjoy some sweets. No. I do not take desi ghee, butter. Even if I take it for 3-4 days, I would become fluffy. They have to. Because that fluffing tendency is inbuilt because of Jupiter. Jupiter expands. So they have to control their diet. No, it depends. If the position of Jupiter is very strong, if it is exalted or strong, if it is debilitated, it's totally different. Totally opposite. Very skinny body. But that tends to gain fat is very common. They need to take care of their body. So I'm recalling all those things. He's very symmetrical body. He lot of exercise, nutritious food. Because what Jupiter is doing with his body. So these are very common traits, and they consider themselves a teacher, a guru. They would not compromise with. For example, they won't stay in a filthy place or a place which is not comfortable with their body. They would stay in a very idealistic atmosphere because they are carrying their body. This fellow, he is from Bihar. He was staying in the most costly resort of that area just to make his body comfortable. And I've seen many people also, because body is the primary thing. And it is very common that they start preaching body, about the body, themselves and for to others also. Very common, because their gyan, their knowledge is body oriented, physique oriented. They are very particular about their characterization. Now let's move to the second house. Jupiter placed in second house. What is second house? Second house is vocal cord, respiratory system, our face, our taste, family lineage. So everything is expanded. So big face in comparison to the all people. He would eat more food. Vocal cord, that base in the vocal cord. Big family. So the diaphragm is very full of bass. So when they speak, has a very that speaker effect is there in their voice. Second house, house of saving. So they want to gain knowledge or give knowledge, everything related to the second house, saving. They want to gain knowledge how that saving could happen more and more. They are into that saving more and more. The saving house is expanded. But this right now I'm talking about in general, without any zodiac sign. But this is a tendency of Jupiter in the second house. Big family and very idealistic approach toward family. Because Jupiter spread idealism. And their food eating habits, very pure, neat and clean. They consider food as the prasad, because that religious attribute is being spread there. My elder brother has Jupiter in second house. No onion, no garlic in his food. This is not the case in everybody, but they try to that their food choice is very very neat and clean, full of religious principles. Very idealistic, simple, idealistic, not very aggressive, that kind of. So that kind of thing, very idealistic food. And the moment you see their face, that Jupiterian energy is reflected. That his face is like a preacher, as if he's a guru. Something like that is reflected from their face. Now you keep on collecting data from your friends, near and dear ones, and along with this quote side by side, you keep on observing and we can discuss on that. So their face reflecting Jupiterian energy. Their voice is very full of preaching kind of voice, as if they are speaking and preaching. We should not do this, we should not do that. That kind of uh, feeling we have when we listen to them alone. But see, even if it is not alone, the many other planets are also there, and zodiac sign also. But the quality of Jupiter will be there. Something would be adding up or contradicting, but these are the fixed. Either less or more, but Jupiter would be creating an effect. These qualities would be there. Jupiter in second house. Okay. Third house. So when they communicate in a preaching manner, and they are always giving shiksha, gyan in communication. The relationship with your brother and sister. Either brother and sisters are preaching them or they are preaching them. Vice versa. Either they are gurus of their brother and sister, always sharing principles, ideologies, idealism, and they try to create a very positive relation with your brother and sister. Positive. Because Jupiter is spreading positivity, optimism. Even the third house, the house of daring, right? So even if they dare in a very religious manner, very idealistic manner. Their approach is very idealistic, very organized. Because wherever Jupiter sits, Jupiter spread idealism, positivity, religious attributes. In whichever house it is placed in, that is the role of Jupiter. यहाँ इस घर में बेईमानी नहीं चलेगी. They would stick to it. That is the first thing, because Jupiter is a positive planet. He could be egoistic, he could be arrogant, but he would not do cheating. He could be arrogant, but no cheating, no telling lie. Third house, communication, clear-cut communication. And because it is expanding, so expanded communication, lot of communication with many people. Uh-huh. 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 So does it matches what I'm saying? Yes. Yes. Ah. Yes, yes, yes. So they always try to create positivity. And one thing I just want to repeat it, that Jupiter, if Jupiter is strong and negative, he could be arrogant, he could be a dictator, but he will not teach false thing. He will not be lie. That is the fix, because idealism, the temple spiritualism or that religious approach is there. झूठ मत बोलो ना, पाप है. That thing is always there with Jupiter. See, Osho, let's not talk about Osho, because we human beings are in the grip of planets. When somebody become enlightened, anybody, he is beyond the grip of planets. He may be using the planetary energy, but still he is beyond the energy, beyond the grip of energy of planet, because he has become the part of cosmos. So all logic, all paradox doesn't match with these people. Anybody who was born the day Osho was born, the same time, everything same horoscope, but still he is not Osho. Osho has, the people like Osho achieved moksha, 12th house. That is the big factor, the big difference between Osho and other people. Because they have, over the past lives, they have realized the maturity, they have touched the pinnacle of their maturity. So that is why they look like a human being. But if you watch their eyes, if you could watch his video discourses, English video discourses, you will find that he would not be blinking his eyes for 2.5 minutes. Listen to his discourse for 1.5 hour or 2 hours discourse. The energy level in the beginning was same at the last. There is no difference. So it is very difficult to compare these people with the common people. There is many Osho horoscope is there, and many people are discussing. Even Kapil Raj Kiara's channel, it's a very famous channel, he is discussing about Osho. But I am totally against this, because they are using planetary energy. The big difference is there. They are using planetary energy. We are being used by planetary energy. We cannot be otherwise. They can be otherwise. They have become the masters. We are still slaves. And this screenshot, this horoscope, this is a slave dynasty. Unless and until we become completely mature, eligible for the 12th house. So again and again, we have to come back, birth, die, again rebirth. We have to come again and again, this vicious cycle. But this thing is very clear. 3rd house Jupiter, their communication is preaching. One of my friends who has Jupiter in 3rd house, he is into preaching. Whenever he is taught, he is always doing shiksha in his communication. This is the way you should do this, always preaching. And he is drinking daily, he's drunkard, all kind of bad things he is doing in his life. But still, he is in the grip of horoscope. When he communicating, he is preaching. Good things he is preaching. So planets plays a very important role. Okay. So positive relationship with the brother and sister. Either they are getting gyan from brother and sister. Their brother and sister could be their gurus. Jupiter in third house. Or they are gurus for their brother and sister. That could be the reason. Jupiter in fourth house. That we consider the best placement of Jupiter, because fourth house by default is the house of Cancer, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, it is said in astrology books. I made a video on Facebook which I have downloaded and put in YouTube also for 25-30 minutes. I have done totally opposite. I said Jupiter exalted in Capricorn and debilitated in Cancer. You can watch that video. It's very interesting. Just to make it more interesting, all astrological books, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer and debilitated in Capricorn. But I have, with logics, I have said something different. So you can watch that. Otherwise, we would be wasting time in that. So fourth house. Why fourth house is the most comfortable position for Jupiter? This is why, because the knowledge, the gyan or the preaching has to be done in a very soft, docile and motherly aura. Motherly attitude. When we teach somebody, we should not be arrogant. We should take care of the emotions and feelings of other person. When Jupiter in Cancer teach somebody, they will not hurt their ego. They have patience. So Jupiter is very comfortable in fourth house, because his preaching is motivated by Cancerian energy, moon energy. And these people, now what are fourth house? What is fourth house? Fourth house, house of mother. Feelings, emotions, sentiments are vehicle, primary education. So these people, they have a very pure relationship with their mother. Very idealistic approach towards their mother, towards feelings, sentiments, emotions of other people. Fourth house is a house of dwelling place, where we are staying, right? They consider their house a temple. Fourth house is a house where we are staying, right? So you will find anybody who has Jupiter in fourth house, if you visit these people, you will find the sculpture of Krishna or Buddha or Mahavira, God and Goddess, because they consider their house as a temple, the most idealistic place to stay, to relax, to be at peace. The house is very caring. A kind of fragrance is always available, very neat and clean. Idealistic house. and their vehicle, there is a possibility of a big vehicle, large vehicle. Why? Because Jupiter is expanding. Big vehicle, but very neat and clean. Even the color of their vehicle is not very gaudy one. Their primary education has been very idealistic, very systematic. When they impart knowledge with others, share knowledge with others as if they are feeding a baby. Because the ownership is of mother. And they have a big house. Why a big house? Because Jupiter is expanding. Big house, not small house. You can see the vastness once you enter the house. Jupiter in 5th house. Fifth house is about friends, our creativity, speculative business, first child. So now there are many things. First of all, our creativity is motivated by that religious attributes. We could be creative in making sculptures, images of God, or something religious. And our friends, we would choose good friends, idealistic friends. So there is a possibility of few friends, not many friends. Very idealistic relationship with friends. First child, very idealistic relationship with their first child. They would try to give preaching to their first child. They could be a guru for their first child, or vice versa. His first child could be his guru. And regarding speculative business, they believe in fair gain, not cheating. Fair gain. And there is a possibility that their first child is a bit fluffy. So all these possibilities are there. But always remember, Jupiter is spreading idealism. Satyavadi Harishchandra. in whatever house he is placed. He will not cheat. Jupiter in 6th house. This is a complicated position because this 6th house is the most negative house. 6th house Jupiter, his growth is hindered. He is getting knowledge of problems, obstacles, diseases, physical issues. He's almost tired of spreading idealism or positivity in 6th house. Because the nature of 6th house is negativity. But these people try to be very positive, very idealistic approach with their enemies also. They will not fight with their enemies. They will not argue with their enemies. They can block their enemies, but they will not fight. And the moment enemy is in front of them, they will hug. Hello friend, how are you? They will not show off. Because idealism. They will not show off. So they have a very positive approach towards their problems. But in spite of all these, they try to spread positivity, idealism, good values. Their inbuilt capability is not flourished. Because the energy of Jupiter is always occupied in all these negative stuff. So because of which these people, anybody who has Jupiter in 6th house, they get involved in arguments quickly. If you could share something with you, if you could share something with these people, they will listen not attentively, partially they will listen. And sometimes they will get involved in their own communication. For example, if you want to share certain idea, they will not listen to you fully, the complete sentence. They will interrupt. You have something in your mind? Okay. Okay. Progress does matter in 6th house. No, every aspect has two sides. So in spite of these negative traits, all the negative stuff Jupiter is facing in 6th house, there is a silver lining in the cloud. So they are very cautious with the life. They are a bit alert with the life. Now, but even then, I will not say uh, Jupiter is very bad in sixth house. Jupiter is struggling, facing challenges. He is using all the arrows in his armor, you know, every time he is challenging. But he is not very bad. Now, let's move to the Jupiter in seventh house. That is not at all a good position of Jupiter. Why? Because seventh house is by default the house of Venus. By default, the house of Venus, spouse, marriage, and Jupiter is spreading idealism. Which is not practical in house number 7. Seventh house is a relationship with the husband and wife, right? Partnership with the husband and wife. So, either husband or wife, they are preaching each other. Try to spread idealism, perfectionism. There are certain things which has to be preached outside the home, not inside the home. Right? There are certain things, certain communication which has to be done outside the home, not everywhere. Because home is the place where we are freaking out. We want to chill, we want to relax, because nobody is watching us. Seventh house is the house of spouse, husband or wife. So there we are very casual with the husband or wife. We don't want rules and regulation, that spirituality, that religious attribute, that idealism, sit this way, this is not good, change your clothes, you've not taken bath today, go and change your clothes, take bath. All these idealism is being forced upon the spouse. Romanticism is gone. So kind of Cold War started when Jupiter is placed in seventh house. These people have very good impression for other outside the world. The outside world, they will consider these people as sadhu. Oh my God, such an idealistic person. But not with the spouse. It is like that husband is saying to the wife, I want gyan, but not from you. ज्ञान चाहिए, तुमसे नहीं चाहिए. Because whole day they are preaching each other. So the kind of suffocative atmosphere. So that is a problem. So married life get disturbed with Jupiter in seventh house. Or the Cold War always exist, remains. Jupiter in 8th house. 8th house, the most complicated house. By default, the house of Scorpio, the Lordship Mars. Till 7th house, Jupiter has been going through certain pathway based on the teachings of their school teachers, college teachers, parents, relatives, near and dear ones, as per the idealistic books. He has been passing through all these phases till 7th house. But 8th house is a very unknown realm of our life. 8th house, house of darkness, unending abyss. Nothing is visible. House of occult, tantra, magic. That is why I say it is house of darkness. It's a physical relationship. It cannot be done in open, right? And mysterious house. Suddenly things popped up. Unpredictable house. The most unpredictable house, 8th house. Now, till 7th house, Jupiter has been living certain way. In 8th house, Jupiter realizes that 2 plus 2, which was 4 earlier, or maybe sometimes 0, with a positive and negative sign, but here 2 plus 2 sometimes become 22, sometimes 2 plus 2 become 3. So all his knowledge till 7th house goes in vain. A kind of Pandora box is opened up in front of him. The Jupiter in 8th house. All his idealism vaporizes. A mysterious chapter opens up in front of him. He realizes the things which were invisible are now visible. There is no limit to Gyan. Lot of contradiction is happening here. He realizes that death is the reality. And nothing is permanent in this life. A very unknown chapter opens up in front of him. Jupiter in 8th house. That is why anybody who is a teacher and his Jupiter is in 8th house or connected to 8th house to some extent, he would be sharing a very mysterious knowledge which is not very common, knowledge from the deep down, from the roots, unpredictable knowledge. Jupiter in 8th house gives us a mindset that there is no fixed principle, fixed logic to live life. Before that, Jupiter used to think, this is the way, you have to get up early in the morning. Okay, now take breakfast at certain time and you have to go to bed early. Very idealism. But after 8th house, Jupiter realizes that it is not necessary to get up early in the morning. Even waking up late night, we can gain a lot of knowledge. And learning at night time discloses a very mysterious aspects of life which is not available during daytime. Knowledge go deep into our roots if we try to open up by learning or grasping late night. So a very different kind of concept is disclosed with Jupiter in 8th house. Very in-depth teacher. Anybody who has Jupiter in 8th house and is teaching or you are teaching, very mysterious knowledge is being shared. And he is trying to create idealism, idealism in the sense as if death, positivity with the death. Nothing negative about that. This is the reality of life. So he is creating all that things in a very positive way. That is the powerhouse of Jupiter in 8th house. Now, Jupiter in 9th house. Now, before I go ahead with the 9th house, 8th house of in-laws. Very idealistic relationship with the in-laws. Very idealistic approach when dealing with the treasure of spouse or other people. Because 8th house is the house of the treasure of spouse or other people money, right? So these people are dealing with these things very idealistically, positively. They will not cheat the money of spouse or other people because they are very positive in their dealings. Okay. And the relationship with their in-laws, very positive relationship. One thing I just want to tell you, Jupiter in 7th house, they are very adamant and stubborn people. They may not be showing in front of us, but they are very adamant people, very stubborn people. They consider themselves as if they know the most. So it's useless to argue with these people. Jupiter in 9th house, that's his own house. Number 9, Sagittarius, the lordship is Jupiter. So Jupiter is very relaxed and comfortable. Very positive relationship with their gurus, teachers. Very optimistic when traveling long distance travel or religious places. They are very good people. For example, if anybody who has Jupiter in 9th house and he believes in Hindu religion, his behavior would be like he would not say any bad word for any other religion. He would say, okay, you are Muslim, you are Christian, you are Sikh, you are good people, you keep on following your religion, let me follow my religion. I am not going to convert myself in other religion, let me go to my temple daily. You all are good people, but don't let me follow your rules and regulations. He is like that. If he is Muslim, he will remain Muslim throughout his life. And he will follow the the dogmas and doctrines of that particular religion. But he will not say bad to other religion. Very sharif person, Jupiter. And Jupiter in 9th house, there is a possibility of traveling, lot of traveling, long distance travel. And if there is no other negative planet affecting Jupiter, so he could have achieved the PhD, D.Lit institutional qualification. Because Jupiter is higher qualification. And 9th house is in itself higher qualification, institutional qualification. So, very good placement. But the most comfortable placement is 4th. Here, very comfortable, is very positive. But if we compare it, Jupiter in 4th house is more beneficial to others. Jupiter in 9th house more beneficial to themselves. Jupiter in 10th house. After 7th house, I would consider 10th house very bad placement for Jupiter. Not at all good. It is just like selling Gita, Quran, Bible to share brokers. They are not interested in your Gita and they are not interested in your Quran, Bible. We are involved, our energy is involved in share market. They are selling in, they are considered stupid people. You know why? Because they are giving gyan to those people who need the least. They are, see, many examples comes in my mind. My mother-in-law, she has Jupiter in 10th house. She wears very good dress because her Venus is exalted, but along with very decorative dress, and she has gray hair, but she has blackened it. Okay, ornament she is wearing, everything exalted Venus, but Jupiter in 10th house, along with all the decorative attire, jewelry, and all that. She is wearing big Rudraksh mala. And there was a marriage few days before. So the people, they have made a group so that they can update about whatever the program and function and all that. So everybody was sending good pictures after the marriage, good pictures, whatever the pictures they have clicked during the ceremony and all that. And my mother-in-law is sharing the post of preaching. झूठ मत बोलो, चोरी मत करो. You know, in that group, with all the celebration, enjoyment, good clicks and pics are being shared, her post is like that because Jupiter in 10th house. So these people share gyan to those people, those who are not interested. So because of this reason, they consider as not sensible, or we can say idiots. They're always preaching those people, businessmen and all this. So because wherever Jupiter is placed, Jupiter, 10th house is also a very complicated house. The principle is hook or crook, win the race. Everything is fair in love and war. Just like that. That's the law of jungle in 10th house. So what idealism will do in 10th house? In 10th house, there are 10 salesmen. Okay. There is one product. The cost price of the product is 10 rupees. One salesman is selling in 15 rupees. One in 50, 60 rupees. Every salesman have their own price. The cost price is only 10, but 10 salesmen, they have a different selling price. But anybody who has Jupiter in 10th house, he will say, no, I have got it in 10 rupees, I will take only 2 rupees profit. He will say it, I will sell it only 12 rupees. Will he survive? Unless and until Jupiter is very strong, only then survival is possible. For that, other factor has to be analyzed. Because they are spreading idealism in a wrong market. They are preaching to the wrong people. Right? 10th house, there is no religion in 10th house. Who fetters the survival. All cheating, gambling, all kind of politics is happening in 10th house. So Jupiter is not good in 10th house. Even these people will not listen to anybody. Not listen to anybody. Jupiter in 7th house and Jupiter in 10th house. They will not listen to anybody. Even if you say 1,000 times not to do this, they will do. So you need to check the data. Okay, and you have to analyze it. Jupiter in 11th house. 11th house, the dreams, wishes, all the things, liquid cash, These are the people who will give income tax return regularly. Is 11th house earning house, right? If they are earning money, they will regularly pay income tax. They will not hide their income. Because idealism and positivity is being spread in 11th house. They are very positive and idealistic when dealing with their dreams, wishes, desires. They want to fulfill their dreams, but very positively and idealistically. That is the thing. So, maximum income tax return is given by these people. Because they don't want to the 2 number ki kamai. No. They want earning, but should be legalized. So 11th house, all that positivity, that optimism is spread there. 11th house, and all the ambitions, all the things which I have explained about 11th house is being enhanced by Jupiter. They have a big dreams, everything big, all the things being expanded, but positively, idealistically. Now the last house, Jupiter in 12th house. Twelfth house is also the own house of Jupiter. Okay? But see, what are the things related to 12th house? Entertainment, enjoyment, celebration, party, Okay, donation. There are many factors connected to the 12th house. So Jupiter is partially happy, partially not happy in 12th house because Jupiter is a sadhu. He doesn't enjoy party, celebration. He enjoys celibacy. It's like, okay, if party has to be organized, please, no alcohol. Or you people enjoy with alcohol, let me have a soft drink. Jupiter in 12th house. They will donate money to the needy people, poor people. And they have the particular cause. They will not give just for the sake of giving it. And because this is a house of seclusion, cut out from the outside world, loneliness. So when Jupiter is left alone, he has nobody to preach. Jupiter is interested in one thing, preaching. If he is left with nobody to preach, he is sad. He needs somebody to preach. So Jupiter doesn't like loneliness, emptiness, hollowness. He wants crowd. That is why Jupiter is happy in 9th house. 9th house is a house of temple. Many people come and do the prayer. He gets an opportunity to preach. So Jupiter is not very comfortable in 12th house. In spite of his own house. In spite of his own house, he is not very comfortable. So this is the placement of Jupiter in all the 12 houses. Any doubt? So you analyze it. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me tomorrow. Open up the details of all your horoscope. Just collect the data and recall and compare. If something contradict, we will discuss it. Okay, because that is very important. If you ignore it, then that will create a more branches of doubt. And there's a contradiction will arise in your mind. Okay, so we will end the session here. Be ready with all doubts and questions and revise it today's and tomorrow's session. Okay, we will do some other planet and some new chapter, new topic also we will add tomorrow. Okay, bye. You're welcome. Bye.